When your boss asks you, would you recommend someone to work here? Or how do you think we're doing as a company? Do you get stuck? I would agree that is a tricky question to answer, especially if you're not really feeling your experience at this point. But here's how you might thoughtfully answer that question in a way that might actually open up opportunities for you. And frankly, I want to recommend that each of you give some thought to how you might answer this question if you find yourself stuck with the CEO or the boss in an interview or in an elevator, or if you just happen to be traveling on a work trip together. You want to present your answer as someone who is being thoughtful about the broader organization. You want to present that you think beyond the task that you're doing every day, that you are aware of your surroundings, that you're interested enough in your company and interested enough in your organization that you actually follow the company externally. I'm sad to say that I have asked a few professionals about what they disclosed in the quarter, or where their stock price is, or who their CEO is. I've asked a few young professionals those questions and they couldn't answer me. You want to make sure that you are thinking beyond your discrete job. Remember your power. You are making the decision to walk into that organization every single day. That's the job you chose. That's the job you said yes to. So you want to own the whole experience. You want to think about this as my company. You want to think about it as my CEO. You want to think about it as my executive director. This is your organization. You making the choice every day. So who is the leader? How did the company do in the last quarter if it is a public company? Where is the company's stock trading? You are probably the recipient of some of that stock if you have been a professional for 2, 3, or 4 years at that organization. You ought to care. If you care enough about having that company's name on your W-2, then you need to care about what's going on in the organization. And you need to have a perspective on your role. Do you like your role? Are you doing things that are efficient? Are there things that you could do in a much more efficient way? Do you feel like you have a voice in the organization? If you have discovered a new process or a new way of doing things that might be better for the organization, have you told someone? Can you tell someone? Do you feel like you can tell someone without any kind of negative reaction? These are some of the things that would be important if a senior person says, how we're doing. Your first answer is, overall, I think we're doing okay, but I have a few thoughts about how we might be able to do things even better. And when you say it that way, you've started off with something constructive, but now you're saying, I do have a few ideas, and now you want to be prepared to deliver those ideas. My strong suggestion is that when you are delivering those ideas, you keep it restricted to 3 things. Most people can retain at least 3 things, but if there's a list of 10, you wait till the next 2 or 3 conversations. But you say, number 1, if we did A, B, and C, and I don't think that it would require a lot more resources, then I believe this is what the outcome would be. Now you have a suggestion and you demonstrate that you've thought through it and you're demonstrating what the outcome could be. Now, maybe it does take a lot more resources, and you now say, if we did 1, 2, and 3, although I do think it would take quite an investment, I think this is what the outcome would be. The second thing is you might say, I would recommend people come to work here, but I would tell them that they might want to be prepared to do A, B, and C. Or if there are things that you think could be improved about the onboarding process and you're new, you might want to make sure that you tell the person that brought you into the organization, the onboarding process was successful. I can now prosecute my opportunity this way. However, if we had learned this, or if I had been exposed to that, I think it would have made it a little bit more efficient. But you want to always be willing to put forth those ideas. Always be ready to talk about how you can improve not only what you're doing, but how you think the organization can do better. And the only way that you can do that is to invest in learning about the broader organization and think about it as an owner. If you don't already own stock in that organization, you will have the opportunity to own stock. So you want to be in a position to give your ideas to make sure the organization is being as productive as it can possibly be for all of its shareholders, including you. If you're working for an academic institution or a healthcare institution or a nonprofit institution, then again, contributing to the workforce environment so that it can give you the opportunity to be more productive or enhance your overall culture so that you can retain great people, that also benefits you as a professional. Because the more people that you're playing with that are really good at what they do, the better you will be over time. So it all comes back to why this investment in your organization works for you. Go get them.